Paige Bueckers vs. Caitlin Clark, comparing the marketability of two #1 draft picks. In Paige Bueckers, the WNBA is preparing to welcome another standout college basketball player with a vast following and huge commercial appeal. But what does the data say about the Dallas Wings recruit's overall marketability and how she compares to last season's star attraction Caitlin Clark? Leagues sometimes wait decades for a breakout star to join their ranks, but the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, may only have needed a year for another to arrive. The so-called Caitlin Clark effect that followed last year's #1 draft pick joining the Indiana Fever has been well documented. The 23-year-old powered the WNBA to record viewership and attendances during the 2024 campaign, culminating in the league's most-watched regular season in 24 years. The hype around Clark, who spearheaded an exciting draft class that also included Angel Reese and Cameron Brink, was justified. But she and the class of 2024 don't look like being a one-off for the WNBA. Leading the charge at the 2025 draft was University of Connecticut standout Paige Bueckers, who was selected as the #1 overall pick by the Dallas Wings and had been earmarked as a generational talent and future star long before her performances at UConn. Comparisons between Bueckers and Clark are inevitable given their stellar college careers and dedicated followings, not to mention their blend of basketball skill and commercial appeal. For the WNBA, it will be hoping that Bueckers can build on the impact Clark had on what turned out to be a milestone 2024. But how do the two players stack up against each other when it comes to marketability? SportsPro dug up the data from the most recent edition of its annual ranking of the world's 50 most marketable athletes, 50mm, to find out. Tale of the tape. The 2024 edition of 50mm, produced in partnership with North Star Solutions Group, placed Bueckers 16th in the standings with Clark 4th, the only women's basketball player to finish higher. Bueckers registered a total marketability score of 81.18 out of 100 compared to Clark's 90.26 out of 100. North Star's three-pillar scoring system, consisting of brand strength, total addressable market, and economies to determine each athlete's marketability, saw Clark outdo Bueckers across each category. However, diving deeper into the data that feeds the evaluation model for 50mm sheds further light on specific areas where the two have outperformed each other and how that affected their overall marketability. Social ROI and authenticity. 50mm's evaluation model features 16 composite drivers, one of which is social ROI, encompassing things like engagement with social causes and philanthropy. For this driver, Bueckers scored 46.71 out of 50, which was the 11th highest among athletes in the top 50. A major contributor to Bueckers' performance has been her willingness to speak out about racial disparities in sports business, including calling for more sponsorship money and media opportunities to go to Black basketball players. Bueckers also pushed for brands to include her lesser-known UConn teammates on specific endorsement deals, including when she signed an exclusive trading card tie-up with Panini. Clark, on the other hand, recorded 37.5 for social ROI, ranking 16 places lower than Bueckers, suggesting the Fever ace doesn't yet make the same social impact as the Wings' new recruit. Bueckers also pipped Clark in authenticity, another of the drivers, with a score of 41.67 out of 50 compared to 40 out of 50.